On a winter night, a grieving family was making their way towards their ancestral home on a forest road. The air was bitterly cold, the sky covered in red-tinted clouds that barely allowed the moonlight to pierce through. The trees, dry and frost-bitten, and the pines untouched by the fall, bore a heavy load of snow on their branching. Rebecca, the worried mother, sat behind the wheel, trembling hands gripping it tightly. Her focus fixed on the road, she pressed the gas pedal, determined to reach the safety of their ancestral home, her late husband's refuge. Beside her, a girl named Emily, with fiery red hair inherited from her mother, sat with tearful eyes resembling an ocean filled with a mix of hatred, revenge, and longing. Yes, Emily. Emily, a young girl with her shattered dreams after her father's death. A proud, stubborn girl, but with a heart as clear as the blue ocean. Her eyes spoke of hatred and revenge, the regret in her eyes like an ocean of blood. In the back seat, a strange sight catches everyone's attention for the first time. His name was Henry Potter, a boy with black hair. Unlike his sister, Henry was an introverted, curious, and creative boy. His unique feature that set him apart was his eyes, one green and one black. Teased for his eyes, he spent more time at home, immersed in reading and dreaming up witches' stories. Henry's strange companion was an owl named Tyrannyx that Henry found in the forest when he was just a young chick. Since then, they have become inseparable friends, and Henry talks to him most of the time. Tyrannyx, a majestic black owl with emerald green eyes that matched Henry's, symbolized their deep bond. The sad family of three arrived at their ancestral home after a long journey. While Emily and Henry were surprised by the sudden appearance of the house, Rebecca, their mother, calmly continued towards the entrance. A tall iron gate revealed a large snow garden that apparently claimed part of the surrounding forest as its own. The lights of the mansion were visible from a distance, swaying gently in the dark. As they approached, the entrance became clearer. At T, the entrance stood a plump old lady named Dorothy. She had curly gray and white hair, rectangular-shaped glasses, and a servant's apron with a strawberry pattern. She was also wearing a pink jacket, creating a friendly and colorful appearance. Beside her stood an old man with a face resembling an elderly monkey. He had white hair, round glasses, and a red neckerchief wrapped around his neck. Additionally, he held a wooden cane with its tip inspired by a wolf's head, made of silver material, and had eyes that sparkled like green diamonds. They affectionately referred to the old man as Count. The husband and wife were both standing to welcome Rebecca and her children. Upon seeing Rebecca, they both approached the car to help bring their belongings. Rebecca stepped out of the car and greeted them with a smile.
Oh my God, hello! Hi, Count! Hello, dear Dorothy.
Hello, Rebecca. You arrived so late. We were worried about you.
Hello, my dear Rebecca. I got really worried until you arrived. Let's go inside quickly. The weather is very cold.
Emily and Henry greeted as they looked curiously at the Count and mansion. They picked up their belongings and entered the house. The sound of logs burning in the stone fireplace and the aroma of cardamom-scented tea wafted into their noses. Suspicious glances were exchanged between the Count and Rebecca. Meanwhile, Emily and Henry, filled with amazement and curiosity, gazed at the paintings on the walls and the pictures on the table. Dorothy entered the living room with a tray of tea and cookie chocolates and addressed the children.
Emily, Henry, come have some tea and warm up a bit.
Dorothy turned to Rebecca with soft eyes and said,
Enjoy your tea, my dear.
Oh, thank you, dear Dorothy.
The Count glanced at Rebecca and said,
We've prepared dinner for you, and we've also warmed up the bath. Freshen up before dinner to wash away the fatigue.
Everyone thanked them. While having tea, Henry, in the midst of sipping, suddenly exclaimed,
Hey, look over there.
images move within the paintings?
Uttering these words, the image inside the painted canvas waved hand at them and said hello, leaving Emily astonished and frightened.
Oh my God, he's right. I can see it too.
At that moment, Count and Dorothy chuckled, saying, "There are much stranger things you'll see." After a bath and dinner, Emily and Henry headed to bed.
Have sweet dreams, my children.
Why is this place so peculiar? Why does Count's face look like that?
I'm scared.
Calm down, children. Count and Dorothy have been servicing our family and dealing with a curse from an evil sorcerer for years. This mansion holds secrets of the Potter family for generations. It's the only safe place for us.
I miss Dad. What happened to him, Mom?
Your father was a brave man, but he had many enemies. That's why we're here in this mansion. I'll gradually explain everything you need to know. There are many things you must understand and learn. We went through a difficult night. It's better to rest. Be prepared for tomorrow.
Emily and Henry kissed their mother with tearful eyes and got ready for sleep. It was past midnight when Henry jumped out of bed in fear, looked around, and saw Tyrannix by the window, staring outside. Suddenly, Tyrannix turned his head towards Henry. Henry went to the window to see what Tyrannix was looking at. He wiped the steam off the glass with his hand and looked outside. He saw Count talking to a small, strange creature with a face like a goblin. Henry got scared, quickly put on his jacket, and Tyrannix perched on his shoulder. Then he glanced at Emily and noticed she was deep in sleep. With Tyrannix, he calmly went towards the door and left the room. As they approached the stairs, Count entered, hurried towards the fireplace next to Rebecca and Dorothy, and started speaking slowly. Their voices were very faint. Henry went a few steps down to hear better, and the voices became clearer.
What did that goblin say, Count?
They've searched everywhere and brought us news of the shadows. The goblin said the book hasn't reached Morgan yet.
Henry suddenly thought,
Morgan? How familiar is this name?
Henry. The name of this sorcerer is Morgan, the most wicked sorcerer in the dark world.
Oh, that's good news. But we need to find the book as soon as possible.
I've searched the entire mansion day and night, but found no trace, and the door did not appear.
Why doesn't the mansion show us the way?
As far as I know, this door appears for those of this Potter lineage with pure magic in their veins, and as far as I know, the room must choose itself.
Do you think he can find it?
We must start the training tomorrow as soon as possible to see if he has the ability or not.
Maybe Emily is the chosen one.
Suspicious glances were exchanged between Count and Rebecca.
Did I say something wrong?
No, maybe it's just like that. We'll start tomorrow.
Count put his hand on Rebecca's shoulder and said,
Don't worry. You're a Weasley and a strong girl, so be confident. We'll find a way.
Oh, but he's just a kid. I'm afraid Morgan has pursued him before.
Are they talking about me?
The day we were worried about has come, whether we want it or not. He's involved in this adventure, so instead of fear and worry, we should start his training.
Rise. A few more hours it'll be morning. It's better for everyone to rest a bit and be ready for tomorrow.
Count stood up and said,
Good night, my daughter Rebecca.
Dorothy also wished good night, and both went to their rooms. Rebecca also said good night and headed towards the stairs, when suddenly Henry quickly got up from his place to go to bed so that his mother wouldn't notice that he was awake. In the meantime, as Henry was heading towards his room, suddenly his eyes fell on the painting on the wall, which was a picture of a woman with red hair, white eyes, and entirely white clothes, and she was pointing to the wall in the corner of the room.